What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another video on Jujutsu Kaisen Phantom Parade. So today we're going to be talking about just kind of going over the home screen. What should you as a player be doing right now, right? So like, what is all of this stuff, all of this garbage, this wretched crap all over the screen, all of these different buttons? What do they all do? And then what should you as the player really be focused on trying to accomplish right now? So across the top, you just have your basic stuff. You've got your player rank, you've got your AP, that's your energy. I don't know what it stands for. Action points, maybe. Yeah, we'll make that up and say that's what that means. This is your domain time. So this is how your domain exploration, you click on that there. Your domain exploration, like it all counts on the time there. So it's all like when that resets, when the events reset, when the banners reset, you can just track the time right there. So you know how some games, they'll say like, oh, it ends at 6 p.m., but you don't know if 6 p.m. is in your local time zone or not. Game will track that for you right there, so you never have to guess. Then you have your JP, which is just like a currency. I don't know what that stands for either. Jujutsu points, maybe? We'll say Jujutsu points. That's what we're calling it from now on. That's what it stands for. Sure, why not? And it's just a type of currency that you use. And then to the right of that is your cubes. That's your gacha currency. So that's what you spend on the gacha to pull shit. Over here is your little news ticker. If you can see my like upper left corner down below player rank, you've got the news ticker. You can move through it as needed. Below that you have your beginner quests, so like your novice missions, and you clear these every day. It's okay. Gojo, shut up, I'm talking. It's okay if you don't clear them every day, like the full day, because you can just clear them later. So you can back clear them. So if you don't finish day 3 by the time day 4 comes out, doesn't matter. You can finish day 3 and day 4 at the same time. Gojo, please. Gojo, please. I'm talking. I'm talking right now. I'm talking right now. Okay. So then next you have the friend invite. So this is where you can invite new players. You can give them your invite code. So you see I've got that invitation code right there. You can give that code out to people, ask them to put it in for you, and it will register them as an invited player. If they are an invited player, then every time they accomplish tasks, you get rewards for it. So after they clear certain parts of the story mode, after they get their player rank up high enough, my people are slacking. How dare they not be rank 20 already? You get rewards as time goes on. Looks like you get up to 6,000 cubes from that. So that's 2 multi-summons. That's really good. And then also, everyone who puts in your code gets 1,000 cubes. So they get 1/3 of a multi just for entering your code, and that's it. So this is real good. You want to make sure you're taking care of that. Gojo's going to fucking talk over me every time I go back to this menu. That's going to get really old really fast. Anyway, down below this, on the bottom left-hand corner, you can kind of do like your home screen settings. So if whatever you put in here is what will appear on the home screen. So you can put in characters, you can put in recollection bits. So if you want to do recollection bits as your background, it's just to customize your home screen on the background. If you have more than one, it'll scroll through, or you can turn that off and you can manually do it. I just leave it on Gojo. Or you can do live 2D, which will look like this. And they'll just talk to you. Talking a lot. They talk a lot. He'll just talk to you on the home screen. Again, it's just up to you if you want to do it. This button here will take the HUD away, so you can just look at what you're looking at. And then this button here will swap between the two. So if you want the characters or you want that live 2D, you just click this to switch between. Right hand side, this is your gift box. You already know about this because you surely have opened your gifts by now. Missions, you already know about those too. That's where you accept your missions. Cursed Corpse Stroll, you have these little dudes, Kathy, Chirk, Underwear Panda, and Tsukamoto, who go around and they collect shit for you. So they collect AP, they collect JP, they collect, these are training items, so you spend those to level your characters up, and you can spend these blue ones here to level up your recollection bits. You can claim those whenever you get them. So you do get some extra stamina regen from Kathy, that's especially good, but they're all pretty handy that way. The exchange, so this is where you spend the various items that you receive. So friendship points you get from other players, so like your ally players or followers, your followed and followers. and you can exchange them for some of these recollection bits that are pretty decent. They're not bad for freebies while you're still building up your account. And then if you don't need any more of these, or you don't care about these, you can get training bits, recollection bit, EXP, or JP. Cursed objects will let you trade in different types of cursed objects that you have for other ones of higher rarities. So you can trade in like the ones to get every 5 ones is a 2, every 5 2s is a 3. So you can trade those in to work toward your awakening for your characters. Rare mats, these are things you get from events and such. This first one here, this Jujutsu Crystal, this is for skill awakening. This soul shard here is for dupes of a 5-star unit. When it's blank like this, it can be for anybody, so these are very valuable. You should hang on to these. And then the blank crystal of recollection bits is the same thing, but for recollection bits. So it's a free dupe in any recollection bit. Again, very valuable. You should save these unless you have like top tiers that you want to invest in already. Gacha points. This is for pulling on the gacha. So every 2 multis you do on the regular gacha, or on any gacha, so the regular one or not, you get points in that specific gacha that you can then trade in. So this is your pity, right? So characters are 250, that's absurdly high. And recollection bits are 120, which is still pretty high, but not as bad as characters. So this is why I say it's so important to save in this game, because the pity is disgusting. Soul shards you get for trading in dupe characters. So if you don't want to awaken them, or you do want to awaken them and you just are already at max, right? You can trade in soul shards, or trade them in to get soul shards. Or I guess technically you're trading their soul shards in for these blank ones, and then you can spend the blank ones on specific soul shards either for other characters from the base pool. I believe it only leaves the base pool in here. I don't know if it ever gets expanded, but for now at least it's definitely just gonna have the base pool. Or you can get one blank one for more. So this is the priority here because it's the most valuable one, because not all characters go into the summon pool, right? Like a lot of characters go into the regular summon pool just to be pulled later on, just at random, like in tickets and stuff. Some do not. Yuta is an event character. He is limited only to the banner that he is in. So these blank ones are very important if you want to put dupes into Yuta, because you will not be able to just stumble into him. Generally, I think you should prioritize limited units, obviously, with these blank ones when you get them. Recollection bits do the same thing. You can trade in your recollection bits. You can get awakening materials for other recollection bits. You can get awakening materials for, or I guess dupe materials for other recollection bits. Dupe materials for characters you could get as well, but only SR or R, not SSR ones. And then you can also get summon tickets with these. So you're able to parlay recollection bits that you no longer want into more summon tickets. And then phantom medals you will get from events and such as you play, and you can trade them in for either Jogo or Hanami. 1500 is a very long time. You won't get these guys very quickly. I believe Jogo is the better one of the two, if memory serves, but it's not a worry that you should have right now. And neither of them are really that great anyway, so just if you want Hanami more, just pick Hanami when you finally get there. It doesn't really matter. And then you have your Phantom Parade Pass. This is your Battle Pass. I've already snagged it. It's decent. It's pretty good. You get a lot of mats, which is nice. It saves you a lot of farming time. You get summons. You get some harder to get mats, like the Jujutsu, the yellow crystals. Those are good. You get a decent chunk of them. You get a huge fat stack of like training materials and stuff, and a pretty good amount of currency if you get all the way to the end. So I would recommend getting this if you want to be like a low spender. It's very good bang for your buck. Going across the bottom real quick, you already know what gacha is. I'm not going to go into that. Home screen, you already know what that is too. That's just this right here, so we're going to skip those two. Rank. So you get to do this thing with your characters where as you level any of them up. So any copy of Yuji, for example, will apply to Yuji's character rank. And you get cubes and character experience points that unlocks like voice lines that don't really matter because most of us probably don't speak Japanese. They're only in Japanese. But what it also unlocks that we'll look at a little bit later is these optional side stories, and you can kind of scroll through. I kind of like this screen because it's almost like a character select screen sort of thing from like a fighting game. I like moving through them. But, you know, you can look at your character missions, and you can see what you have to do that. Your character EXP here goes into this rank, and as you increase the rank, you get more rewards from doing that. So that's pretty, just a little extra reward track. Pretty cool. Formation is where you do all of your character buffing, editing, team building, all that kind of stuff. So enhanced characters, this is where you have your character box. You can see everybody in here. You can level them up with level enhancement. That spends those red orbs on increasing their character level. You've got grade enhancements. This is how you increase their grade. It's kind of backwards to how it is in the show, because grade 1 is the best, but in here it's grade 8 is the best. And you can grade them up by just awakening all these little nodes here. So see there's all these different little nodes. You need to activate those. And then once they're all activated, you can grade up all the way. Or if you click that grade up button here, you can actually see all of the different options you have available here. So you can see all the different things you need to awaken all those nodes. Once you awaken them all, you can do them all at one time and just jump right up to the next level. This will give them a big stat boost. So grade increasing is very important to buff your stats, and it also gives you a higher level cap. So you're able to increase your level more the higher your grade is. So lower grade characters are locked to lower levels. Awakening is where you spend soul shards. So if you have a soul shard in here that you want to feed, you can do that. If you want to feed it instead of sell it, you can do that. And if you have a blank one, you just toggle over to the blank one. Again, do not use the blank one on characters that aren't like limited or hard to get. Especially don't use the blank one on the launch pool, because launch SSR characters are absurdly easy to get over time. But if you have a dupe of like the regular Gojo, you want to stick it in there, that's fine. And then skill enhancement is how you level up their individual skills. You need to spend those Jujutsu crystals. So it starts with just the bronze ones, then or the silver ones, then it goes to the gold ones, and then it goes to those rainbow ones that we saw in the exchange menu. Skills go all the way up to level 10, so you can raise them up as needed. You do need to spend all of them, so like when you unlock the gold, you still need to spend silvers. Once you unlock the rainbow, you'll still need to spend golds to get those skills all the way up. What to prioritize here is kind of up to you. I think you should be prioritizing the grade first. Get the grade as high as you can. Once it becomes cost prohibitive to keep increasing their grade, then you can focus on getting them all the way to their level cap. And then once they're at level cap, you can start worrying about skill enhancement. Realistically, you should be doing them all kind of at the same time, right? Like, don't hard focus one and then end up having like nothing for the others. You'll get a lot of stuff as you play, so it's easy to kind of do them all at once. But if you have to prioritize them, I would prioritize grade, then level, then skills. And then you also Gojo, please, you're so loud. Also, we have the recollection bits. It's exactly the same thing. So you look at the recollection bits that you have. You can see them here. You can see what skills they unlock with like duplicates and stuff. So when you land a crit hit, it gives a crit increase to all allies. That's what that one means. This one means that when you trigger it, you get a 70% damage dealt increase. You can level enhance it right here. So you can increase the level with the blue orbs and with JP. You can spend both on increasing the level. And then if you want to limit break, again, if you have a duplicate, you can spend it here. And you have the blank one as well. So if you want to do that, you're more than welcome to. Limit breaking a recollection bit once unlocks this extra skill. So you see limit break tier 1. So you need to do it once to unlock that additional skill. Some additional skills are very strong. Some are pretty meh. So it's really up to you. Like, I probably would not unlock this one because I don't think that a 10% crit rate buff is worth the value of a duplicate buff into something else that might be better. Also, if you want to see the full art, just click on that to remove the HUD, and you can look at the full art image that you want to look at there. And then you have your soul shard conversion. So this is where you sell your duplicate units. I don't have any. If I did, they'd be in here. And you have this check mark here that allows you to exclude awakenables. What that means is it will take everybody out of the list that you still have room to awaken them with, right? So if there's soul shards in here that you can spend on characters that you have already, they're not like max awakening, you can click on this and it will pull them out of the list, and it will only show you the superfluous ones. If you hit select all, that's pretty obvious. It just selects all of them, and then you can convert them all at once into this currency down here. Same with recollection bit conversion, right? You check off the one you want. It'll show you down here when you do it what your currency will be at afterward. You have the check mark to exclude limit breakables. And then you go ahead and convert and build them up. Now, the value of what you trade in changes based on how rare it is. So R's are worth a little bit. Golds are worth a little bit more. Rainbows are worth a lot. So over time, you'll kind of just get used to it. Like the requisite values. In my opinion, ones that are mediocre or like low tier or not very good, you can go ahead and avoid limit breaking them. I think ones you plan to use, you can put limit breaks into. Like I'm using this one right now because I don't have an alternative that's good yet. And this one gives me a big curse technique increase when I use my ability with it. So I'm using that one for right now just to have it. Am I going to keep it forever? No. And I'll probably stop limit breaking it if it's not already at 5 by the time I have a replacement for it. So it's really up to you what you want to invest in. But personally, I invest in every single one that I'm using, and ones that I don't plan to use or will not use often, unless they're like S tier. So if I'm looking at a recollection bit tier list and I see they're like the best ones, maybe I will invest in those. Otherwise, I just sell them to recycle for dupes for things that I actually want. Alright, so that's all of the home screen. Let's jump into the quest menu. Now here in the quest menu, you have your dispatch over here. This is just assigning little characters and they go out and they grab you stuff, right? So like right now they grab you, or they grab me training items, they grab JP, they grab recollection bit training items, and then later on they'll grab skill awakening mats when I clear story quest chapter 8 episode 7. Keep that last little bit there. You got the main story quest. This is where you go to the actual story mode. You can go through and pick your level and just kind of go through. Ones that have the fire here, these are levels that need to be played, so you will fight something here. The ones that are the books are just story, so you just watch them, right? You can skip them, watch them, whatever you want to do. The cursed object collection, this is like your farming stages. This is where you farm stuff for awakening. So like grade increases, you can do that here. Oh my god. Don't talk, don't, hush, Saki, Saki, hush, hush. Oh my god, oh my god, okay. Okay, she's done. So you can choose which ones that you want here. They drop different weapons or different objects, but if you're on the grade menu, you're able to click on the item you want when you're trying to raise the grade, and it will show you which one to go to. So you don't need to flick through each one of these. It will let you know which stages it recommends that you play for the items that you're trying to get. So you don't have to really ever come in here. You'll just go straight from that other menu. Enhancement quest, who's going to talk to me? It's okay. Well, at least you don't talk very much, so that's nice. You've got quests for beacons of training. You've got quests for beacons of recollection bits, and then you've got quests for JP. So whatever you need, you can farm out of here. It's just more farming stages, just for different stuff. And then Formidable Foe, you see it's locked behind Chapter 8, Episode 12. This is the difficult boss battles. It's where you unlock the really good farmable recollection bits. So it'll take a while to get there because story does ramp up in difficulty after a while, but once you get there, you're able to unlock these and take on these battles for some pretty good banger rewards. And then we have the event. So I want to talk about the event because there's a specific reason that I want to mention some important stuff in here. The event gives you multiple copies of this event limited recollection bit, this little fucker right here, though the future may differ, and it gives you a 45% physical technique increase to self one time, and it will reduce the damage taken by 10%. Personally, I don't think that's all that good, right? So what you can do is every time you use this exorcism token exchange, you can see the pool, you can see everything that's available in the current redemption pool. It's kind of like the Dragalia Lost events, if you ever did those, where you would just spend currency and just roll on this pool of items. As soon as you get the target reward, which is the recollection bit, you're able to move to the next pool. But I highly recommend you grab the high quality, like high value stuff in here, like the gacha tickets, always get those. The recollection bit pieces, always get those. The Jujutsu crystals, at least gold or higher. You don't really have to worry too much about the silvers, but gold or higher, I would always get those, right? So clear those out before you move on. If you want to see the other prize pools, you hit the all prize pools button and you can see what is available in each of them. So you can see in this event, you get a free dupe for any recollection bit. So you're able to get a free extra copy of any recollection bit that you own. So you can limit break it to rank 1. A lot of events give these out, so you want to make sure you're farming this event because this is high value. You also get a Chaotic Jujutsu Crystal, which is a high level skill awakening material. You'll want that as well. And then number 8 is just regular rewards that cycle forever. So you want to make sure you get through at least number 7, because you can see you could also get the Phantom Medals in here, which you'll save up over time for Hanami, Jogo, and I believe Mahito gets added in there at some point as well. So you want to make sure you're farming these. But the actual reward, right, this guy right here, isn't all that good. If you sell the duplicates of this in the trade-in menu, where you can trade in your recollection bit dupes that you don't need, you get 100 of the currency, the trade-in currency for these. That 100 transfers on like a pretty decent exchange rate to summon tickets in here. So you can either save up for another recollection bit permanent dupe if you want, so you can grab that, or you can get summon tickets. So every rainbow that you trade in is worth 5 summon tickets. So in the event, every time you get 2 copies of that event recollection bit that's not that good and you're probably not going to use, every 2 copies you sell is a free multi-summon. So you're able to do some good summons pretty quickly. It's just on the basic banner. These are just regular gacha tickets. But it's really good to pull any recollection bits you may not have yet that you want, or you can fish for dupes of Gojo. Perfectly fine. It's a pretty good exchange rate for that. This also applies to the one that you get here in these. So you get this other one. So there's not even a text box. I don't know what you're saying. Shut up. You get this one as well. And it's also SSR, a limited one. You can't get any more of it, but it's also pretty bad. The odds that you're going to use it, even at rank 5, pretty slim, unless you really have nothing else, right? So again, you can trade this in. Every 2 that you trade in is a multi-summon. It looks like you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You get 6, enough to fully limit break it. 1 you can't trade in because you can't trade the base one. You have to keep the base one. But then the other 5 you can trade in for 2 multis and 5 individuals. And then the event one you can also trade in for 2 multis and 5 individuals. So that comes out to a total of 5 multi-summons that you can get just by trading in these crappy ones that you don't want anymore, right? You're not going to use them. Who cares? If you don't need them, then you get 5 multi-summons out of it, which is pretty awesome. If you do want them, don't let me, talk you into selling them if you don't want to lose them. If you want to max them out, maybe you're a whale and you don't need the summons. Maybe you're just a collector and you just care about max limit breaking the freebies. Perfectly fine. There are freebies in the future that will be really good, and you don't want to do this to them, right? You want to have them because they're very strong. Then there will be ones that aren't. And this might be me misremembering, but I think in the future, they make event ones trade in for less. I think they only trade in for like 20 instead of 100. So I think you should really capitalize on this with these initial release ones that suck. Get as many summons out of them as you can before they tank the value of freebie trade-ins, right? So just my 2 cents on that. I think it's totally worth it. And that is the navigation for the home screen, and a little tip and trick there for how to take care of some free extra summons that you might be kind of hidden in there. You might not realize you're able to get your hands on those summons. So enjoy Jujutsu Kaisen Phantom Parade. I'm loving it. I'm having a great time. I hope you guys are having a good time too. And I will see you guys again tomorrow, where we will go over the full event for a Homesick Horizon. We'll talk about what you need to do in here, how you need to do it, and what you should prioritize when you are trying to grind the event as quickly as possible. Alright everybody, I will see you in the next one.